Welcome to your first Dosseri video. This video accompanies Athenaze Chapter 1 Alpha. In this chapter, we learn the basics of inflection. Inflection is when a word or part of a word changes to reflect meaning. The English language has very little inflection. An example can be seen in I run versus he runs. You'll notice that you have to use a different verb ending depending on the subject. So when the subject is he, she, or it, we add an S to the verb, he, she, or it runs. Another example of English inflection is change in pronouns. So I like Phoebe when I is the subject, but Phoebe likes me, we change from I to me when we're using the direct object. So I for subject, me for object. Languages like English, which have very little inflection, have very strict word order. In other words, in English, we rely on word order to know what the subject is. It's the thing that comes first, before the verb, and then we rely on word order to know what the object is. It's the thing that comes after the verb. So you can see in the following two examples, Anne likes Phoebe versus Phoebe likes Anne, all the words are exactly the same, there's no inflection changes, but we know what the subject is based on word order. So Anne, in the first one, comes before the verb, it's the subject, and then the second one, the subject is Phoebe. The object comes after the verb, so in the first one it's Phoebe, and in the second one it's Anne. So who likes whom depends on word order. Now let's look, for example, at Greek inflection in verbs specifically. So the endings of Greek verbs change to reflect the person and number of the subject. So the person is who is doing the action of the verb from the perspective of the speaker. I'll give you an example in a second. The number of the subject is how many people or things are doing the action of the verb. So the persons are first, second, and third, and the numbers are singular and plural. So first person singular, I told you that the person is from the perspective of the speaker. First person singular is I, but first person plural is we. Second person singular in English is you, and in English we actually use the same pronoun for the second person plural. But note that in Greek, as in Latin, you'll have different pronouns for the singular and plural second person, and also the verb endings will be different based on whether it's you singular or you all plural. The third person singular pronouns are he, she, or it, and the third person plural pronoun is they. So as I mentioned, the ending of the Greek verb changes depending on the person and number of the subject doing the action of the verb. Now in English we have to state the subject using either a noun or a pronoun. But in Greek, you do not have to state the subject. So you might just look at the ending of the verb and have to infer what the subject is based on that. So in this chapter, we're learning only the third person singular, which in English, the subject would be he, she, or it. So the third person singular ending that we're learning now, there'll be a few more paradigms we learn later, is epsilon iota, A. So in Greek, you do not have to state the subject. So if you see the ending A, like the filet is a complete sentence. You have to supply, based on the ending A, the subject he, she, or it. So the whole sentence is, in English, he, she, or it loves. Oike, he, she, or it dwells, and lege, he, she, or it says. Now you can state the subject explicitly by writing a noun in, like ho anthropos philei, the man loves. Without a stated subject, you supply he, she, or it. So as I said, for now in this chapter we're only talking about third singular. In many languages, including Greek, the verb to be is irregular. So if you want to say he, she, or it is, it does not have the A ending. Instead, the word is estine. So just memorize that estine means he, she, or it is. Again, you can state the subject, ho anthropos estin, the man is. So now let's talk about what inflection means for Greek nouns. For Greek nouns, it means the ending of the noun is changing to reflect the case. Case reflects how the word is being used in the sentence. So let's do a quick review of what subject means. Subject is the person or thing who performs the action of the verb or who the verb is about. In Greek, we'll find that if a word is functioning with the subject of the sentence, it has a particular case ending. So an English example of a subject is, I like cookies. I is the subject. It does the action of the verb. Another example, the cat is soft. The cat is the subject. It's who the verb is about. In Greek, and also Latin and German and a number of other languages, the subject can be anywhere in the sentence, but it must have the nominative case ending. So subjects are expressed with the nominative case. So in our sample word ho kleros, which means the plot of land, ho is the nominative definite article. Remember that definite article is just the word the in English. And os is the nominative ending. Ho happens to be the masculine nominative definite article. We'll learn feminine and neuter articles later. Os happens to be particular paradigm endings we call the second declension, so just keep in mind that we'll learn other kinds of nominatives later. For now, you only know ho blank os. So I mentioned the nominative case is used for the subject. It's used in one more instance, which is the complement. Complement with an E in the middle is related to the English word complete. It completes the meaning of the verb. It's not the same word as compliment with an I in the middle, which is when you say nice things to your friends. So complements always follow linking verbs. I know I'm throwing lots of terms at you, but linking verbs, for now, you simply know only one linking verb, estin. Estin is a linking verb. Estin can occur with or without the new at the end. We'll talk about the circumstances later. So we've got a linking verb, estin. Linking verbs act like a giant equals sign, where the subject equals the complement. The two are interchangeable. So in this case, my complement is mikros, small. The plot of land is small. You'll notice both the subject and the complement have the nominative case ending. So now let's look at what inflection means for accusative cases. The accusative case is used for the direct object of the verb, which is the person or thing which the verb acts upon. If a verb takes a direct object, it's called a transitive verb. Transitive means it transfers the action from the subject to the direct object of the verb. So an English example is Phoebe likes me. Me is the direct object. It's the thing that the verb acts upon, and then likes is a transitive verb transferring action from the subject to the object. In I read a book is the direct object, and read is a transitive verb. In Greek, the direct object can appear anywhere in the sentence, but it must be in the accusative case. So we have subjects in the nominative, like ho anthropos, and then a verb, and then direct object of the verb is in the accusative. The endings here are ton for the definite article and on for the ending of the noun. So to solidify this concept, let's look at a few examples of word order. When you have lots of inflection, lots of changes to words and word endings, like in Greek and Latin and German, the word order is more flexible. You can move words around in the sentence. So first sample sentence, ho anthropos phile ton kleron, is a common English word order, where we state the subject, then the verb, then the object. The second sentence, ho anthropos ton kleron phile, is the most common Greek word order, where we state the subject, then the object, then the verb. Third sample sentence, ton kleron ho anthropos phile, has the object first, then the subject, then the verb. All three of these sentences mean the exact same thing. The word order doesn't matter, it's the case endings that matter. For all three, the subject is the man, with the ho definite article and the os ending, and the object is the plot of land, with the ton definite article and the on ending. So in the last example, ton anthropon ho kleros phile, take a second to think about what it means. Ton anthropon, with the definite article ton and the ending on, must be the direct object. Ho kleros, with the definite article ho and the ending os, must be the subject, and phile is the verb. So the English translation, we take the subject first, the plot of land, subject, loves, verb, the man, object. That's it for the first video. See you next time.